The Ron G Morning Show, every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. only on WSAN Radio, the soul of America.
Welcome to WSN Radio. Today I am interviewing the one and only, the man behind the mic, Ronald Gordon, the owner and founder of WSN Radio. So, Ron, how you feeling?
I feel pretty good. It's been a long weekend and a long day today. I've been on the radio from 5 this morning until I'm still on it. I'm here with you. All I did was change locations, but I feel good today.
And you changed the spot. You were the interviewer, now you're the interviewee.
Yeah. Yeah, it's awful hard to pin me down. Some tried. Interviews went good, but I just went on whatever. I'm always interviewing people, so have at it.
Well, you know, it's very important that the people know who's behind WSN Radio. And not only that, but it's important for the community to know who's out there making incredible moves.
Hi.
Are you guys open?
No, we're closed.
What?
Yeah, we're closed on Monday and Tuesdays.
I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Take one. Gotta lock the door.
Yeah, that's what they're ready to do right now. Big old sign says it.
Closed.
Oh, this is gonna be for a blooper right here. We're the only ones in here, and somebody come and say, "Y'all open?" No, we're closed. Sorry. And when you walk up to the door, everybody, it says closed Monday and Tuesdays. I think the sign was given away with all these lights up in here, all the chairs on the table and everything, but that's all right. That's
It
all right.
didn't even smell like anything was
was
cooking
cooking.
back here, but you know.
So we're going to take one on this and start over again, but this is going to be good for a blooper, trust me.
Welcome to WSN Radio, and today we have a very special guest. It's crazy because it's actually the person who's always behind WSN Radio, the very own Ronald Gordon. Ronald, how's your day going?
My day's going good. It's Monday, and Monday is always, everybody say Monday is a terrible day because they don't like the weekend to end. But it's got to stop somewhere. I don't have a Monday, I don't have a Tuesday, I just work every day. Just every day. It doesn't bother me, but to answer your question, I feel good today.
You feel good today?
I feel blessed.
That's good. You know, you normally would see Ronald as the interviewer, but today he's actually the interviewee. How do you feel in that spot?
You know what? I always tell everybody that I never share my questions with them. You haven't either. It doesn't bother me because my philosophy is this. If you know your business, you shouldn't have to see the questions. You should be able to answer. If you don't know, say, I don't know it. I'm lost.
But you'd be surprised how many people don't know their business.
Yeah, you right about that.
You'd be surprised.
I agree with you on that one because I ran across one today, but I'm ready.
Well, you have been doing amazing things for the community. I've been with you less than a year, and I have learned so much from you, from values to core values to the way you do things and how you move the people in our community. And I believe it's really important, and it's time now for people to know who is Ronald Gordon and the man behind the mic of WSN Radio. So that's why I really wanted to do this. Are you ready?
Yes, bring it on.
All right. Well, before WSN Radio, I'm sure there was a backstory. So tell everyone who Ronald Gordon is. Where are you from? You know, what inspired you for WSN Radio, and just your life growing up.
Ooh, how far you want me to go back?
All the way back.
Oh, see? You see what I'm doing, y'all? I'm getting prepared. Well, I have always been around music. My dad has always played music all the time. And on Saturday morning, he put on Motown. And we call that cleanup music. When you heard that, your butt got out of bed and did what you had to do. It was 9 of us growing up in the household with one bathroom.
Oh my gosh.
It was 9 of us. And so I learned the values from my parents. Even though I was hard-headed, I didn't want to listen. I did what I wanted to do. And I stayed in trouble. But I'm just going to tell you point blank. I stayed in trouble doing things I had no business doing. Like, I'm going to share a story with you. Back then, it was cool to smoke. It was cool to smoke. So I caught myself smoking a cigarette, and my dad come over to the neighbor house and wanted to smell my breath and everything, see if I was smoking. He gave me a banana, I ate, he couldn't smell anything. But what I did, I put that cigarette in my pocket so you wouldn't see it. But back in the days, we had matches. So when my dad left, my whole right side of my pants, the matches just ignited.
Oh my God.
Burned a hole right here. I still got that mark right here on my thigh. And, you know, that was some things I did growing up. And, you know, I defied whatever they said, yeah, whatever, you know. But as things went on, the first time I started DJing, it was my sister's party. And back in the days, we had this thing called a phonograph. And we call it a stack of wax. Well, it's nothing but a number of 45s on there. My job was, when the 45s got finished, you put like 10 to 15 45 on it, it dropped down, play. When that got finished, my job was to get the next stack of wax and put it on top of it.
Wow.
So it was a basement party. I did all that, and I thought it was high time. I was up there showing out, dancing, and sneaking, drinking that Mogan David wine and all that good stuff. And so as years went on, I developed the knack for music. I liked it. When I was growing up, I would go out and shovel sidewalks for money. And the first 45 I bought was Marvin Gaye, I Heard It Through the Grapevine.
Oh yeah, that's the song.
And so when I went out and got that record, I thought it was big time. Because I think it was like 35 cents for it, something like that. So I turned around and started shoveling and getting more music, got into it real good. And then one day I was down there, I had a phonograph, that's what we called it back then, a phonograph. Because the phonograph was everything in one, speaker, everything in one. And I would listen to the radio station, and then when they played the song that I had, I try to match it. Then that's when I found out that radio stations will speed the music up a little bit to push more time in.
Right.
You know, here I am playing at 45, and they were maybe playing theirs at 48, 49, which was a little faster, but not fast enough to sound like the Chickmunks. So I found that out right away. I said, okay, that's not gonna work. So as things goes on, I developed DJing. I went out, built my first pair of speakers, which was horrible. I built it, I showed my dad, he looked at it and said, boy, that's not a baffle. I said, huh? I got 2 boards, nailed them on there, put speakers on there, holes all over the place, and I thought it was high time. That's not a baffle. I never knew what a baffle was.
Wow.
So then he showed me, you gotta cut a circle, you gotta seal it, you gotta do all that, use dense wood. So I started building speakers. And I thought that was interesting in building the speakers and all that stuff. So then I turned around, and my cousin had a party one time. This before I even knew what a mixer was. We had an outfit called Radio Shack. And I went to Radio Shack, I bought a 4-channel mic. It'd be a little thing like that. I turned around, got the adapters to go on the turntables that would plug into that, because I had to go from a RCA to 1/4 inch. So once I did all that, then the first time I sat down there and played it, I started mixing music. And everybody came and said, man, how you doing that? I said, what you mean? I said, I got a mix. Where you get that from? Radio Shack. So at a young age, I started developing into music and doing things. And, you know, it was fun. I would say fun. You want me going to when I kept on going?
So you talk about music a lot, your passion and your love for music, you know. So it was that very moment that you learned that music was more than just entertainment?
It was money. I found out in high school you could make money DJing. So I started doing all the house parties up there. And I did some parties for the high school. And I was the main guy to go to for music. And so then I went to a couple of nightclubs, and I was spending at some nightclubs in our local town, just playing music. I was having fun. I didn't think nothing of it. Right. And then they told me, what's your price? Price for what? For playing here. Oh, you gonna pay me to play?
Oh my God.
I said, sure, $150, no problem. I got $150 a night DJing. Wow. And that was low rate. Some of the top-notch DJs walking out $500, $600 a night. Of course, you had the mega nightclubs back then. When I was growing up, that's when discotheque, and turned around and named it disco. That's when it was popular, along with funk and stuff. And these clubs will hold 500, 600, 700 people. And if you got into one of them clubs DJing, you was high time. And so I said, one day I'm gonna get there and do that.
And you did.
Eventually, yeah.
You did. Not even just on the DJing part, but you have many people who dream about starting a radio station and starting but you actually built one. You built it off of passion, off of love for your community and love for music. And it started from from your background. So can you tell us a little bit more about starting WSAN Radio?
Oh, I was at a Chicago stepping class, and I was talking to people that really listen to the radio. And in San Antonio, I heard the same song 4 times in 1 hour. It's too much good music for that to happen. It's too much. Right. So I turned around, I told them I'm gonna start a radio station. They didn't know my background or anything. Allah said, you're not gonna make it. What? You didn't say, well, go for it. They just automatically were just haters. You're not gonna be able to do it. You're not gonna be successful in it. I said, well, they didn't know me. So this friend of mine named Jackie, she owned Jack Potato. We were talking one day, and I said, I want to start a radio station, but I don't know the name of it. She said, how old are you? I said, 59. Call it Lounge 59. So that was the starting radio station. It was Lounge 59. Jackie turned around and said, just call it that. So that's what I did. I called it Lounge 59. And when I started doing the music in there, now that was the hard part, finding the right way and legal way of doing it. And a lot of people don't realize that. I mean, they even say DJs should have a license, but I don't know about that. Well, they say that if you look it up, we all supposed to have some type of license to play this music. So I started going around, and I found this place that would give me a license, crazy amount of money, but I paid for it because I wanted to be legal.
Right.
And of course, went down there and got the assumed name, got all that done and everything. So Lounge 59 was born. So I look at my data, I had 10 people listening. I said, wow, I just started 2 months ago, I got 10 people listening, man, that's great. So I kept on going, and it went up to 50, then 100. Had a nice little group of people listening all the time. And at that time, I was only playing music. I didn't realize the other program that I bought eventually was automated. That I could put anything on there, run 24 hours a day. So I'm sitting there thinking, I'm in high time now. I was having a good time. No commercials, music. I wasn't even talking. I was just playing music.
Right.
That's all I was doing, that right there. So it kept on growing a lot faster at times than I thought it would. Right. And so I didn't pay no attention. I was like a little kid. I was having fun just playing music, people listening to it. Because back in the days, we would bring our equipment down to the park, steal their electricity, and hook up everything, and we jam out. I remember I was up at Illinois State Beach Park in Zion, Illinois. There was a soda machine there. It had an outlet there. So I unplugged the soda machine and plugged my stuff up in there.
No, you didn't.
Here comes the park ranger. All of a sudden it stops. He holding it like this. I said, okay. So you know me, I went and got me an extension cord, it had 3 prongs on it. I plugged up the soda machine and my music. He came back and looked at me, So I got away with that, and I was doing it all the time up there. So that's what we were doing. So we had fun then doing that. But back to the radio station. So as things were going, I had to start buying equipment. oh, damn, that equipment expensive. I said, I'm glad I got a full-time job. So half my paycheck was going towards that.
Right.
Then half I had to pay my bills. And when I will go out and DJ, I use that money from DJ and go right back into the radio station. So, you know, I'm self-financed. To this day, I'm self-financed.
Right.
And so I'm going on, having to feel they're going back and forth. And then about 4 or 5 years ago, I said, I need to do a change. Because Lounge 59, everybody thought it was a nightclub somewhere. You mentioned Lounge 59. Oh, man, we're going to Lounge 59. There was no such animal, no such thing. And so my mom had passed away, and she was always doing things for the community, always making sure the community is taken care of. She was the executive director of Lake County Community Action Project in Waukegan, Illinois, in which they made sure people, they needed money for gas bill or electric bill or clothes, she was there making sure she did all that. So when my mom passed away, I had already changed the name, which was one of the best moves I could have made, is when I changed it to WSAN Radio. And people asked me, did you get WSN because it's San Antonio? I said, no, that's the only thing that was available. There was no creative thought in that at all. It was available and I took it. Now, if people know, if you west of the Mississippi, the call letters start with K. If you east of the Mississippi, it starts with W. I didn't care. I just went on and did it. I got questioned about that for the first few years. I said, hey, it's an online radio station. I have no dial. So what you gonna do? You know? So that was one of the biggest change I did. And then somebody said, have you thought about ever interviewing anybody? I said, what am I gonna talk about? I said, I just wanna play music. So I did my first interview, and I did my second one. I did my third one. Then somebody said, yo, Ron, you got a knack for that. Right. Why don't you keep on interviewing people? I said, I don't like people. I said, I don't like, nah, I just want to play music. That was it. Well, my mom passed away. It seemed like the torch was passed over to me to start doing things for the community.
Right.
And that's why I started doing things for the community. And to this day, I'm still doing things for the community because that's my passion. If anybody would know me, that I would never say, my radio station, this is my radio. No, this is your radio station. This is your platform. I'm here to make sure the word gets out.
Right. And for me personally, I believe that that is really the heart and soul of WSAN Radio is the community. Yes, you play lovely music, all the jams from Motown to R&B, you know, all the old schools, but the community part, driving our community together. Not only are they listening to music, but another thing that people may point out, but I'm going to point out is not only you're involved in the community, like going out there, but you're heavily involved in what's going on. Like you went to an event yesterday at the educational with the Pan-African Center as they're discussing the education, and also went one for top as they talk about the healthcare. So can you tell us a little bit more into depth on the community side? Like you said it started with your mom and you feel like that torch has been passed down to you. How did you implement being a radio station, but also involving the community very heavily and being out there in the community and being involved?
Ooh. No, yeah, that's an answer I can't answer. The reason why I'm saying that, it blended together. It was something that I was not planning to do, but it just happened. It's like God just say, this is what you need to start doing. And the more and more I got involved in the community, the more and more I started going out and being part of, just not talking about the community, but being part of the community. And somebody asked me the other day, what makes you different from all the radio stations in San Antonio and all that? I said, well, I'll be honest with you. I haven't seen them out doing a live remote.
Right.
I haven't seen any of them out. I mean, they probably have, I just haven't heard it, but I'm doing it because, you know, people want to see the face behind the person. And I'm out there with them. And like I said, some of the events I go to, like yesterday, was it Saturday? It was Saturday. They, brother Maat asked me, can I come out and just record it and stuff. I said, sure, I could do that. So they asked me to come out and record it. And then once I edit it, I give it to them. And guess what? It's free. I don't charge them. I just edit it and give it to them. Tell them, use it the way you want to use it. So then I went out to Prairie View A&M Extension Department. I went out there one Saturday. There was so much information and resources there at that place. I was just at awe. So I stood up and said, can I say something? I stood up, I said, you know, there's a lot of things going on right here. I'm with the media. If I haven't heard it, I'm pretty sure nobody else has heard it.
Right.
So when this is over, can y'all come to me so I get more information? They're all lined up, got cards and everything. So now I'm starting to do things for Prairie View A&M Extension now. I'm gonna be part of that. It's gonna be one of my partnerships with them. So, you know, getting with that, and I'm with Ondor with his going on with his fest coming up. The he's gonna kill me. I can't remember right now, but it's something that we did. The Taste of Africa, and all that's coming up, and being part of that and part of the community is something else. Because you know, if anybody know me, I always tell everybody I'm behind the scenes. They say, how can you be behind the scenes when you got the mic in your hand? That's a good question. I don't know. But to get back to your question, I blended it together in a way that it seemed like it's not four different things. It's like everything is blended together and it's coming together at once. Because I could be out talking about your business. Let's say your business was hair design.
Right.
I get up in the morning, I read about that, or I already read about it. And then my next interview could be about car sales. So I gotta know about that.
Right.
So, you know, it's just blending this stuff together is, I like doing it. It's a challenge for me, and I love a challenge.
And it's so amazing how you became the source of many sources. And like you mentioned, a lot of people don't understand how many resources are out there for the community. Mm-hmm. And there are so many. And as like I said, I mentioned, I've been with you for less than a year. And within that time frame, there has been resources that I've been introduced to that I didn't even know existed. And every time we go to these events, it's a great turnout, but it could be more. Mm-hmm. It could be way more people out there getting these resources, because you have so many people asking for help or wanting to expand their business and wanting to, you know, give back to the community in different ways. Or you have people who need some assistance, whether it's in the water or their rent or something. Those assistants are out there, or scholarships for youth. So that leads us more into our next question. We talk about the community a lot, you know, and we always have a conversation about bringing the youth and getting the youth more involved. What is your plan, or what idea do you have when it comes to WSAN Radio to get the youth more involved?
That's a good question. I started off with you. She was here at an event, and I picked up on her right away. I mean, I gave her the mic that day. She was scared to death, but I gave her the mic that day, and my deal for the youth, this is what I see in 5 years. I'm going to say it again, I see the city of San Antonio giving WSAN Radio a building. And that's what it's all about, give a building, because I'm in with the youth, doing things for the youth. And once I get that building, the youth is going to be running it. I'm bringing the youth in and showing the ins and outs about the radio station. Y'all heard that train ride? Yeah, that's not, I like live stuff. But I want to make sure the youth are involved. Right. They need to be involved because they are not. I had this conversation the other day with somebody who said, part of the problem with the youth is us, the baby boomers. They said, what you mean by that? I said, we don't pay them no attention. They want to come talk to you, but we brush them off. We don't pay them no attention. That's our future.
Right.
How can we mold the future when we don't take time to talk to them. Or the other one is take time to listen to them. Because this is a new day and a new time. The youth are more on top of things than what you think. We got to utilize their knowledge. Even though they're young, but they grew up fast the way technology is. Oh yeah, I'm the first one to ask you, come here. I was making fun of these two brothers saying, hey, you two Ute, come over here. They came over, I said, how you do this, how you do this, how you do? Oh man, let me show you, Mr. Gordon. Boom, 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 boom. I said, what's your name? I said, how'd you know my name? Oh, we know you. I said, okay, let me have your information. So those two right there, when I get that building, I'm calling them to come on over because I want to give the youth their own radio program. I want them to sit down there and report the news.
Yes.
I want them to learn how to put a radio station together. Because sitting behind the mic, being a personality, yes, you make money. But being a radio engineer, you make twice as much, maybe 3 times as much. I want to be able to teach them how to do all this. So when the building comes, and it's coming, I want a classroom set up to the side to teach the ins and outs of the equipment of radio. Then I want another classroom set aside on how to become a radio personality. I want to develop that so we could train the youth to keep on going. So that's where I see the youth and me coming. And we talked about that the other day when you said you got to have that wisdom.
Yes, have to.
Yeah, and so when you said that it makes a lot of sense.
You do. You absolutely, as youth, we have to have the wisdom, and I believe that's what has really taken a toll in our community in the future. When I say future, I mean the youth, is that the youth don't have those mentors to teach them right from wrong or to show them a different way or to navigate them through life. Life is hard. I'm facing life as we expect right now. But life is a blessing. Life is always a blessing, but life has its challenges. And it's always great when you have that wisdom with you to help you navigate through the obstacles that may come your way. So when you mention bringing the youth on board and having them run WSN Radio and showing them, it's not like you're going to feed them out through the wolves. You're actually inputting knowledge and educating them. And it's going to reverse because they're going to show you things that you never thought to do.
I can't wait for them to do that because I'm stuck at some stuff. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't claim to know everything. And I think I called you a couple of times asking some questions. Hey, how you do this? So, and that's the key. You have to, there's no pride to swallow asking the youth what's going on. There's no pride at all. It's just you want to know. And I'm going to go ahead and say knowledge is power. You know, if you have the knowledge, you have the power to do what you want to do. And that's the reason why I want the youth not be afraid to talk to the elders. And the point I'm making is talk to your elder before they become an ancestor.
Yes, absolutely. There's been many times, my grandma is now an ancestor, and there's certain things that I'm learning in life, and it's like I know my grandma would have known that question. Like I'm wanting to learn our family history, and if I knew at that time to ask her the right questions, I'm sure she would have given me the answer. But she's following me throughout the path, so you know she's always there.
Yeah, she's there.
She's always there. But you are absolutely right about that. You know, ask the elder before they become an ancestor. And you mentioned something that the youth shouldn't be scared to ask the elders, or the elders should be able to listen to the elders. And I always call y'all the wise ones, right? But it's 50-50 because as youth, yes, the wise ones should listen, but the youth have to be willing to receive as well.
Yes.
Because there's been a lot of times where, you know, you have a mentor. Some youth have mentors, and they just don't take the mentor's advice because, like, oh, well, you're too old. What do you know about that? What do you mean? That doesn't even make sense. Well, this is how we're doing it now. Well, always think about it like this. The past always repeats itself. It's just in a different format.
That point. And on the flip side, we should not, I always refer as baby boomers, we should not tell the youth, oh, you don't know that already? Or how come you don't know it? They ask the question, so they don't know it. So sometimes we are short fused and don't want to hear what they have to say.
Yeah.
But remember, you was once their age.
Right.
You were once there, wanting to know what was going on.
Right.
And back in the days, you know, the old saying was, we were seen and not heard.
Yeah.
But times has changed the way things are nowadays. Not only we seen, we heard too. Now, don't be disrespectful, you know, because we could turn off each other by being disrespectful. Sit your little narrow butt down, want to talk to you all of a sudden, you know, shut that person down, don't want to talk to you anymore. Or sit your old butt down, you don't know anything. You know, it goes both ways.
It does.
You know, if you sit down and have a conversation, like when I was teaching at Gary Job Corps, on Friday afternoons, about 2 o'clock, we put up everything, and I'm gonna show you how old I am. Everybody sit around in a round circle, and we have a rap session. All we did is talked about everyday stuff, what was on their mind. We cleared the air. We did that every Friday. And then one Friday, I tested them. 2 o'clock, all right, everybody, let's break out your books. Let's go ahead and do this. What? You looked at, well, I said, I can't read this. What do you want? But Mr. Gordon, what happened to the rap session? I thought y'all was tired of the rap session. I was testing. No, we're not tired of it. We like doing that. We look forward Fridays to doing that. I said, really? Y'all really do? They said, yes. I said, okay. Get chairs, let's have a rap session. I just tested them out to see what they were going to say.
Right.
So when you do something positive for the youth, they're going to come back and keep on coming back and wanting more. Yeah. Alfred Hitchcock movies never had an ending. If you watch his movies, he never had an ending. And the reason why he said he never have an ending, he said, I leave them wanting more.
That's very powerful.
You know.
That is very powerful. I want to keep on the subject of the youth. How, as a community, as the Black community, as we continue to grow into the future, what are some things that we could be doing to keep hold of our community? Like you mentioned, the rap sessions. I believe that's something that we should be bringing back, because you'll be surprised what the youth is going through mentally, what we face mentally, what we face emotionally, spiritually, physically. And all the time, I want to be able to talk to someone who's either been there before or can guide me and navigate that way. So that's actually a really great idea. Would you think about implementing something like that with WSN Radio when you get the building and having the youth?
That is an excellent question that I got the answer for. I was here last Saturday, rebuilding Black Wall Street. 3 youth was in here. One was 19 years old. She was sitting over there, and I was pestering her, like I always do. You know me.
Yeah.
And so Grandma jumped up and said, because it was her Avon collection over there, and I started messing with her. I said, you know, you're going to talk on the mic today. She said, no, oh, yes, you are. And she talked on the mic. But it was another brother that was in here, and the grandma said, you know, these kids are lost right now. They don't know what they're going to do after high school.
Right.
They're still in high school, they want to do. And I said, well, you know what? Maybe we'll get them together and we'll do a show together and bring about 5 or 6 youths on, and we'll talk about it. And you just brought that up, and it was already seed was already planted in my head.
That's me. It's meant to be.
So I turned around and I told him, I gave my card, I said, I expect the email. This is what I told him. If anybody ever gives you a business card, you have 3 days to respond. Why 3 days? You hit them up the 3rd day, let them know, hey, thank you for showing up, da-da-da-da-da-da. Now it's their job to get back to you. You did your job, you reached out to them. So I got the emails. I reached right back out to them as soon as I got it. I said, let's set a date and time. I need 6 to start the show off, that's what we're going to do. We're going to do our round table with the youth. And I said, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick out a youth leader. And I'm going to sit back and let y'all talk. I'll interject when I need to, but I'm not going to interject because it's y'all show. Now, that's since you brought that up, that's already in the making.
Well, that's incredible to starting to get the youth involved, because like you said, we are the future. I'm saying they, like I'm 40, 50 years old here. No, I'm part of that generation as well.
She young.
But I want to close out because I know our goal of our fundraiser, you mentioned in the beginning of our interview that you have been funding and financing WSN Radio. And they always say that it takes a village to contribute it always takes a village to contribute to something great. And as you continue to grow the radio station into the future, I know we have, the reason of this interview is for the fundraiser, to launch that campaign. So can you tell the audience a little bit about the fundraiser that we have for WSN Radio?
Yeah, it was her idea. And I said, let's do a fundraiser about $1,000 or $2,000. She said, do it for $10,000. I said, oh, really? I said, okay. So I did. We put it down there, and we had our fundraiser on March 15th. We raised about $1,200 or $1,400, something like that. We raised that right there. And this young lady said, well, don't stop. Let the fundraiser keep on going. Now, what the fundraiser did with the money that that was donated to me, I was able to buy 2 new cameras because I had 3 cameras. I was down to 1. And so that bought the cameras, but there's a lot of other things that I need. I need some more lapel mics. I need another board, a radio board when I go out and do things like this. I have another radio board. And speakers, a generator for when we go out a place where there's no electricity. So it's a lot of things that the station needs. And we're going to continue with the fundraiser. And part of that is you could donate to WSAN Radio. That's the Cash App, $ WSN Radio. You can make a check out to WSN Radio. And while we at it, I'm looking for sponsors. I got shows I like to sponsor. I got the Motown Sound on Saturdays. I need somebody to sponsor my morning show. Things like that that's going on that we could contribute. I know I set the goal to 10,000. But I'm going to tell you something right now. Unlimited. Unlimited. Yes. I'm taking that $10,000 off the board.
There you go.
Because what I'm doing, I'm restricting myself only 10,000. When I should be saying, take that off and whatever happens. How will I know? Somebody may drop me a check for 10,000. Is the fundraiser over with? According to me, it would be because that's my goal. Well, that goal's over with now. So if anybody contribute anything, I mean, this is funny. This person came in that day with the fundraiser going on and said, I have 12 cents. I said, I'll take that too. They looked at me and just laughed. They said, oh, I like you. So they came and put $20 in a tip jar. But I said, I'll take that 12 cents. It all adds up as you go along. But, you know, it's a dire need for me to really improve the radio station for where I want. So when that building gets here, I have to get other equipment. I got to get desks, tables, all that stuff I have to get. So, you know, corporate sponsors, all that will be good. Matter of fact, we're going to have a meeting after this is over with because we're going to discuss some of the things that we need and put everything down on paper. So, number one, I stay on task. And number two, this young lady and the other young lady will know exactly, so we are on the same page.
Right.
And that's the problem with some business, they're not on the same page. When she sat up and told me I'm doing this, doing that, she told me I bucked the system a couple of times with her. She said it, and you know what? She was right. But I let it go. I said, okay, Ron, you gotta learn how to let things go. You can't run things all the time. I'm so used to doing things by myself that it's hard to let somebody else do it. Trust me, everybody, I'm getting used to it, and I'm loving it. I'll tell you that right now. I am loving it. Well, I can sit back and don't have to do some things sometimes. And part of the fundraiser is going to take care of these 2 programs that I want. Like for right now, what we're doing right now, I can record this show, put commercials in it. And by the way, we're going towards video commercials too, just to let you know. And get it all together, and I can upload it. And then the day and time I want to show, it'll automatically log into Facebook, Twitch, my YouTube channel, whatever platform I have will automatically start airing it, and I don't have to be there. So those are some things that this is going to help. That means I can actually take a vacation. And sometimes I do a working vacation. I bring everything down with my live from there. But the fundraiser is something that people have been telling me I need to do for years, and I balked at it because I don't feel right asking for money. I never have. Says somebody put money. So how you gonna expand if you don't have any money? Somewhere along the line, their retirement is gonna keep on paying for everything. I said, you got a point there. Right. So, but it's a new day, a new time. I have to listen. I'm old school, but when enough people knock me across my head and say, Ron, you need to do this. So she brought it up. So I have to listen to my youth over here.
Well, that was incredible. I enjoyed interviewing you. Being able to be a part of WSN Radio, it has been, words can't describe what has been, what you have taught me. And this coming from my youth, well, what you say, the youth. So when I tell y'all, my young people out there that are my age, younger, and in between, it's important that we listen to the baby boomer generation and our wise elders, because they know what they're doing. They love us, and they know that we're their future. Thank you, Ronald, for taking this interview. Is there anything else that you would like to say, or something else that you would like to point out?
Oh, there's a lot of things I'd like to point out. One thing that we're planning on doing, I want to point this out. We're planning on visiting some of the parks around San Antonio. We're planning on setting up things live. We're going to discuss things. We're going to order for giveaways and stuff. But so the deal is, everywhere I go, they say, I didn't know we had a black radio station here. Mm-hmm. I didn't know we had this here. I didn't know we had that here. That's understandable. Because when I do the Juneteenth parade, I'm going over a decade doing that. Mm-hmm. And every year when I set up, what's this? For a parade, what parade? Juneteenth parade. Every year somebody walks through there don't know about Juneteenth parade. Mm. So for us getting out there, doing things in the park and doing things, I'm able to talk about what's going on, what the resources are. So like I'm going back to the job is educating the public. Yes. Let them know there is a black radio station here. There's more than one here, but we're talking about mine right now. Forget the other ones. But I do collaborate with them too. We do collaborate together. So there's no I'm better than you. We want the same thing to inform the public. And so I'm just saying thank you for interviewing me. I don't know what to say. If I had a bottle of whiskey, I'd take a shot. I'm just kidding. I tell that all the time. She get tickled every time I mention, like she tell me, you drink? Girl, we invented whiskey. What you talking about? So, but well, you go ahead. I feel good. Go ahead.
Well, thank y'all for tuning in to WSAN Radio. I'm Keyonia Herring.
And I'm Ronald Gordon.
And we see y'all next time.
Peace and chicken grease.
Thank you for tuning in to WSAN Radio. Catch us on our YouTube channel, WSAN Radio SA. Subscribe to our channel and hit that notification button.